A recent settlement involving the National Association of Realtors could mean sweeping reforms in the real estate market, including significant changes in the way homes are bought and sold in the U.S. For more on this, we welcome Catherine Rieger. She's senior real estate and housing reporter at the Arizona Republic and azcentral.com. Good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ted.
Let's make sense of this because this can be kind of confusing. Just overall, 30,000 feet. What does this settlement do?
It is a lot to unpack. It changes the structure for real estate commissions. And essentially from now, and again, I want to make National Association of Realtors, a very big, powerful group that settled $418 million. They have not admitted to any wrongdoing. So the case is different. But essentially now, sellers as of, it looks like it's going to go into impact in July, sellers will not be responsible for paying buyers real estate commissions. So at this case now, if you're selling a home, you're typically a seller, you're paying 6%, 3% to your agent, 3% to the buyer's agent. That will no longer be the case. And those fees are advertised on the MLS. You know, when a seller lists a home, they'll say, okay, and we're going to give you 3% commission. Those can't be advertised anymore on the MLS, or it can be a private agreement.
Okay. Yeah, I'm still with you. So the listing agent can't offer compensation for the buying agent?
Yes, they cannot. Sorry, they cannot do that.
Yes, okay, let's just to make it even more clear. Let's say I'm selling my house to you. How did it work before? How will it work now?
Before, you had an agreed agreed commission with your real estate agent, again, typically 6%. And you would pay, if they went out and said, hey, we're going to pay a buyer's agent 3%. So you as the seller would pay your agent 3%, and you would pay the buyer's agent 3%.
Okay.
That goes away. There cannot be, you can have special agreements. Buyers can pay that themselves for their agent. Right now, to give, as a bonus to sell their home, sellers can agree to keep paying it or pay something to buyers. And also, buyers now have to have a negotiated agreement with their buyer's agent. And that wasn't mandatory before. So they know, this is what I'm getting, this is what I'm going to pay you, this is how we're going to do it.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've bought or sold a home, so I need to be recharged on this, and holy smokes, I'm glad I haven't done it in a while. All of this also includes something called steering. What is that?
And this came out of, there was a lawsuit that a jury decided in favor of the plaintiffs in Missouri. And it was based around the steering, and essentially saying that buyers' agents would steer their customers to the homes they got the biggest commission on. And it may not be the best deal for the buyer, it may not be the best home for the buyer, but they were getting the most commission. The jury found in favor of the plaintiffs. The NAR settlement is different, and steering is very controversial, of course. And you have agents here in Arizona who say, oh yes, it happens all the time. Other agents go, no, that doesn't happen. But this will change that, because buyers won't get the 3%.
Steering buyers for the big commission places don't exist if the big commission places don't exist.
Yeah.
How does all this happen with Zillow and Realtor.com? I thought that evened the playing field a little bit.
It does. Not all listings go on those. Some listings they're called pocket listings, or some listings are kept quietly. You won't even know it's for sale. I come across these all the time. And maybe then the agent who has the listing and keeps it quiet, maybe the homeowner doesn't want people to know it's for sale. But they can tell other agents about it. So, it doesn't have to go on the MLS, and it doesn't have to have a for sale sign or anything like that.
Will we see more of that?
I don't know. That's really interesting, and we're watching this play out. I came across an interesting stat that the U.S. pays more in real estate commissions than any other country. And last year, this study came out, $100 million in commissions. And they're saying, this analyst is saying that 30% of that much in commissions could go away.
Wow. Okay, all that goes away. What does that do to the real estate market, home prices?
I would just want to say, I would never buy or sell a home without a knowledgeable real estate agent, because they know so much, and they know more, than what's been on the listing or anything else. But a lot of the veteran real estate agents, I'm saying, and they're already seeing the newer agents who got in during the pandemic when we had such a boom going on, are getting out of the business, because home sales are down, And if this commission thing's, and they're mostly represent buyers, a lot of them do. So if that goes away, then they can't make a living.
And because the idea is that realtors do more than just drive around showing you homes with signs in the ground.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know that a buyer's agent can help you get a mortgage, help you get an appraisal, help you get an inspector, tell you what you can negotiate, and does a lot of work. And the agents I talk to say, we're still going to get 6%. This is still going to happen because for the value of our money. They do the marketing, particularly for the really high-end homes. They do the marketing and the time they spent. They're not going to do it with not getting paid.
And you can also see fees, such as they are, rolled into mortgages, these sorts of things?
Well, that is, and each state has different real estate laws.
Yes.
But commissions, I have been told by lenders, it is illegal to roll it into a mortgage.
Okay.
A buyer can negotiate for the seller to pay some and or pay the fees up front. And I do think there will be more creative solutions that come out of that for buyers.
Yeah. So, are we, as far as the real estate industry and realtors are concerned, you mentioned that some of them are dropping out. Are we going to see fewer people getting into the business?
That's what I'm hearing as well. And if you look at membership is down. People didn't renew their memberships. And if it's not the lucrative business they can walk into, you have to pay to get your license. You have to pay to be a member of NAR and the MLS. So it can be expensive if you're just selling one house a year.
I was going to say, last question. Let's say someone watching right now thinking of selling after this takes effect, selling in the fall or something along those lines. What do they need to know?
So if they're thinking of selling, the first thing is they're not responsible for 6% commission. Right off the bat, typical 3% goes to the seller's agent. And they may have to get, if the market doesn't pick up, if interest rates are still high,
yes,
they may have to get creative in how help the buyer pay their agent's commission.
Yeah, so basically, if you want a good realtor to do a good job, you could wind up paying what you paid before, but it's not required. There's not a mandate. There's not a deal going on.
Right. So we'll see how it changes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for clarifying, because boy, this could be really complicated.
It is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Catherine Rager, Arizona Republic, azcentral.com. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.